guys, so some things you will need is a can of hairspray, a mirror so you can see what you're doing, a teasing comb, a normal comb and hairbrush, some bobby pins, elastic bands, brown eyeshadow and brush, and of course eyelash glue and a hairpiece. Okay, so something I like to do is a very rough draft. So I feel like this gives me an idea of if the hairstyle is going to work for me and my hair. My hair's quite fine and short, so just mapping it out like this lets me know whether it's going to be possible and doable. So now that I've realized I can make it happen, I'm taking a section at the front. So I'm doing a side part, making sure that the part is nice and straight, and I'm pretty much pulling this section out of the way and pinning it to the front of my head because we're going to use this to cover the bun, and this is what's going to give us the illusion of a French roll. Okay, so now with the rest of the hair, we are going to slick it into a ponytail. With the ponytail, you want it to be ever so slightly off center. So it depends on which way your French roll is going to go. But for me, my French roll is going to come from the left of my face and around towards the back right hand side of my head. So my ponytail is going to be slicked ever so slightly to the left. So once you do your bun and you wrap your hair around, then it will look centered. I find that if you were to pop it in the middle, it would be off center by the time you do the bun and wrap it all around, if that makes sense at all. So now I'm just popping a whole heap of hairspray in and grabbing 2 hair ties to double band it. And now you want this side of your hair to be as slick as possible because the other is going to be a little bit more elegant. So just making sure everything and all the baby hairs are slicked in place. You also want it to be really slick coming up from the back of your neck. That'll give a really nice contrast. And now because my hair is so short and fine, I'm teasing the heck out of my ponytail. I want to get as much volume as I can because the more volume I get, the bigger my French roll is going to look. If your hair is super thick, you may not need to tease it. But you can see that I've got a lot of shape and body from that, which is amazing. Now I'm getting a massive hairnet and popping it around the fullness. And you basically just want to manipulate it and shape it and pin it into place as best as you can. You don't want to lose too much of the shape, but you don't want it to be bulky and uneven, so it does need to look symmetrical, and of course it needs to be secure because you're going to be turning your head quite fast and you don't want it coming loose or falling out. Okay, so I'm really happy with how all of that is looking. It's now time to take out the front section and give it a really good brush. It's all about placement with this part here. If your hair is nice and thick, you can probably wrap it around the bun and then have some left over to do a design at the front of the face. But my hair is so fine, I need this whole section to wrap around the bun to conceal it and give that look of a French roll. And the best way for me to do that is to do it section by section. I do want it to be really secure, so when I'm dancing it's nice and locked in place. So I'm just taking a small section, hairspraying it, combing it or brushing it, wrapping it around, and then pinning it into the right hand side of my hair. And just repeating that again with the next section of hair. And this time just giving it a little bit of hairspray to make sure it's nice and slicked. And this section here is definitely the make or break with the hairstyle, so don't feel pressured to pin it and get it over and done with. Make sure that you really do check in the mirrors and maybe get someone else to check as well to make sure it looks good before you pin it. If it doesn't, just switch up the sections front ways or sideways or whichever way to try something different to make sure that it sits nicely from all angles. So now we've just got this lucky last section to go, and I'm just going to continue on doing it the exact same that I have been doing it. So taking this next small section and spraying it and pinning it. So now I'm just spraying this front section so it looks nice and smooth and neat at my hairline, and I'm getting a brush to kind of try and brush it around the French roll into place. This was the hardest part to get, especially because I couldn't see what I was doing and I needed two hands. This will be much easier if someone's doing it for you or if you're doing it on someone else. Go team, hashtag teamwork. Anywho, you can get the idea of it here. Just wrap it around, spray it and pin it. I'm wondering why Rome wasn't built in a day. Still don't have the answer to that. So now I've got my head back in the game, had a bit of a team talk, and I'm going to make it happen. So just spraying it and trying to get every single little piece wrapped around, looking as neat as possible, pinning it into place to make sure that it's nice and secure. And of course we don't want any little flyaways, so make sure that you've got a ton of hairspray in there. You do not want this hairstyle to move at all. If it helps, use the back of your comb to press it in and make sure it's sitting quite smooth. And now I'm spraying my actual comb itself and using that to get my flyaways down. And of course I'm using the same Diamantine hairpiece that I use in all of my tutorials because it's the only one that I have. So pop it in place and just get an idea of exactly where you want it to sit. And then you basically want to coat the whole back of it with eyelash glue. It's up to you if you want to use eyelash glue in your hair. I use it in mine, but I'm a badass and I don't really care. It brushes out with warm water and conditioner and a comb in the shower. Anywho. Whilst we're waiting for that to go tacky, I'm taking a matte brown eyeshadow and an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just popping this in my hair. As I've said before, my hair is quite fine, so I can have those really fine pieces where you can see my scalp through my hair, and I don't really like that, so I'm just using eyeshadow to kind of fill it in. If you've got more fair hair, make sure you pick like a taupe blonde colored eyeshadow. If you've got a red hair, obviously pick a red color. You want it to blend, but this just kind of makes your hair look thicker and it makes your hairline look more appealing. And just give it one more coat of hairspray to set that all in place. So now the hairpiece will be nice and tacky and the glue will be ready to grip straight to the hair. So just placing that exactly where you want it and press it nice and firm into your head and hold it there for at least 60 seconds. And so now that the hairpiece is in place, that is the very last step of the tutorial. So you can give it one last spray and then you're all ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. It was definitely challenging, but give it a go. It looks beautiful, so I think it would suit every woman. So that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you next Friday night.